The Cosmic Phoenix Force is coming back to Earth, ready to fuck shit up again, and Cyclops is on Utopia, training Hope Summers to become the vessel and use it to help all of mutant kind. As they train, all of the other X-Men are kind of, hey man, maybe you should calm down, but Cyclops is saying it is Hope's responsibility to be ready. And then Captain America shows up. Mr. Red, White, and Blue wants to take Hope into protective custody, and Cyclops is like, fuck no, mutants, and Avengers assemble. There's a huge fight and brawl for all for Hope Summers. Ultimately, Hope escapes and tries to do her own thing. When Wolverine shows up, I'm gonna fucking kill you for everybody. Hope stops him, and she skedaddles. Things escalate to a huge battle on the fucking moon, and Hope's like, oh, I don't know what to do, and everyone's fighting for her. And Iron Man creates a weapon, and he blasts the Phoenix Force, which ultimately separates the Phoenix Force entity into 5 parts. And now, the X-Men become cool as fuck. Cyclops, Emma, Colossus, Magic, and Namor bond to the Phoenix, and they become the Phoenix Five, and they start reforming the world according to their will, providing free energy and food and water, and stopping all conflicts around the world. And ultimately, they create this new heaven, this Pax Utopia for everybody, saying no more wars. Concerned with this unchecked power, the Avengers go on the offensive, but the Phoenix Five are too powerful. Only with the help of the Scarlet Witch are the Avengers able to escape with Hope Summers, taking her to Kunlun for training, where she gets good information from Spider-Man and gets the bond with Scarlet Witch. Captain America goes off to find the Hulk to get more power, and one by one the Phoenix Five start to fall, leaving Cyclops as the only heir to the Phoenix Force. Professor X shows up and says, Cyclops, you've changed, you're evil, and everybody attacks Cyclops saying, you're too powerful. And Cyclops is like, hey, what the fuck? And so ultimately, he kills Charles Xavier. Now get out of my fucking mind. And everybody gets fucking mad. Everybody attacks Scott Summers, and there's a huge battle. He becomes the Dark Phoenix and just rages out, fucks everybody up, but with the help of Scarlet Witch and Hope, they're able to take the Phoenix Force, and Cyclops is defeated. This then leads the Scarlet Witch and Hope to get rid of the Phoenix Force, unleashing new mutants on the world. Cyclops goes to jail for his crimes, but he says he'd do it all over again because he was the catalyst, and there has to be destruction for the rebirth of his race. Avengers vs. X-Men is one of my favorite stories, but it does try to ham-fist a very specific narrative and paint Scott Summers as the villain. Now, it's action-packed, the Phoenix comes back, Avengers are fighting X-Men, and it's a lot of chaos. But really, when we really break it down, what did Scott Summers' Cyclops do wrong? How was he the real villain? I mean, yeah, he was a little bit hard on Hope. He comes off as arrogant. He comes off as an asshole. And yes, he did kill Xavier. That's a very bad thing. But what was his crime? How was he the bad guy? His true crime was the fact that he clashed with the ideology of the Avengers. He was too powerful for his own good, and not just him, but the entire Phoenix Five. I highly recommend that you go back and you read some of his history. Because yes, he's done bad things. He is trying to survive. He is trying to save his species of mutants from extinction. A very small group of individuals who are hated and persecuted against. You're telling me that he was the villain of this story after the events of M-Day, the decimation, Messiah Complex, the atrocities and killing of his students, their enforced encampment during the Marvel Civil War, the absence of the Avengers during all of these events, the Second Coming, Schism. You're telling me after all those things, Cyclops is a bad guy. This is a man who's trying to survive. And time and time again, looking through the stories, looking through the history, he cannot rely on others. And people look to him to keep these people alive. He needs to save his species himself. And he did. He was in control. Arguably, yes, you could have said that he could have lost it. The Phoenix would have eventually turned him into Dark Phoenix and he would have killed everybody. Who knows? But with enemies at all sides, Cyclops is just trying to survive. He's trying to save his species from extinction, and he still wants to make a world that's a better place. And he did. He didn't just make Utopia wonderful, he gave energy alongside the other Phoenix 5 members. And yes, they started to kind of go crazy over time, which was the beginning of their downfall. But realistically, he tried to make a paradise on Earth. And like I read on Reddit, someone posted that Marvel tried to make him into a villain, but all they did was turn him into a martyr. Avengers vs. X-Men is supposed to make me hate Cyclops, but it only endears me to his character that much more. This is why Avengers vs. X-Men is essential reading. It begins the whole conversation on the attempted assassination of this awesome character. All in all, I'm holding out hope that Cyclops is redeemed in the way that Hal Jordan was by Geoff Johns after the Parallax Saga. Because at the end of the day, there are plenty of people out there who know Cyclops was right.